Hi, welcome to Step by Step again. Well, this is going to be an exciting one because this is the day that we put fish into the new aquarium, so this video is all about that. My previous video showed you how to set up the aquarium and briefly talked about what you need to do and not to put fish in. So this is the bit where we are going to put the fish in, and I'm going to step you through what you need to do. Now, following this, you'll need to do some tests, but I'll do that in a separate video where I will do a daily monitoring of the water parameters so we can see what that's looking like over time. So, yeah, this video is about what you need to do to put the fish in. So, it's hard to start this without explaining what cycling is, and I think the first thing I'm going to suggest is go onto the internet, have a look. And if you understand cycling, you sort of get a really good understanding or a grasp of what it is you're trying to do all the time with your aquarium and maintaining the aquarium. So have a look certainly at that. I've mentioned this product that I'm going to use called Colony. It's by a company called ATM. So go on their website because they've got a really good website as well, and have a look at Colony. So it's Colony that we're going to use. There's various ways to cycle a fish tank. The worst way is what's called fish in cycling, which is basically where you don't do any form of treatment and you put your fish in and you deal with all the consequences of that. I mean, generally, fish in cycling is really something you should not be doing. It really is a very, very difficult thing to do. There's another type of cycling which you don't have the fish in, and what the role of the fish is, they put ammonia into the water, and the water creates the feed to feed and create bacteria. So what you can do, if you want to do it another hard way, is you can get some ammonia. So you start off with a new tank, you put in a certain amount of ammonia, and you track that over time, and what you're looking for is the ammonia to come down, and you'll start to see nitrate start to raise, which is the first indication that you've got bacteria, the first lot of bacteria that converts ammonia through to nitrate. And then that will rise up, and then you'll see another peak, which is the start of the other bacteria, who will then start to convert the nitrite into nitrate. And nitrate is the thing that we want to get rid of later on, but is less harmful to the fish. The two first things, ammonia and nitrite, are things that you want to be keeping around about zero in your aquarium. And when you don't do that, that's when you start to have the problem. So have a look on the internet and look at the different ways of cycling an aquarium and try to get your head around what we're trying to achieve. So anyway, we're not going to do that either. So we're going to be using Colony, and that is, in a way, a fish-in cycle, but what you're doing is you're not waiting for the bacteria to develop. You're putting the bacteria into the aquarium from day one. So we'll step through that, but there are some basic rules, okay, with using any product, is that you need certain parameters in your new aquarium for this to work well. And the first one is it needs a heated tank, really. Without the heat of the heater warming the water, the whole bacteria and the development of the bacteria gets really prolonged. So this is a much easier thing to do, and really, if you follow the instructions, that's what you need. So you need a water temperature that's between 23 and 30 degrees centigrade. The biOrb heaters are about 24.5. I've got one that's actually a bit higher than that, I don't know why, but there you go. So you're sort of in the nice ground in terms of that sort of level of heating. You need lots of oxygen to feed the water, to feed the bacteria. They need oxygen as well as water as well. So you need that, and you need to reach about 7.4 to around about 8, certainly while you're doing this stage now. So how does it work? Well, you measure out the right amount of this stuff. So in this case, for a 30-litre tank, it needs 35 millilitres of this. And you dose the tank with this. And you can do it literally just before you put the fish in. You can do it days before you put the fish in, but don't leave it too long. Don't leave it like a week or maybe 2 weeks before you put the fish in, because the fish are an essential component of making this work. Because these bacteria that live in here, they all need ammonia. They need food to grow, and the fish are going to provide that ammonia. So you must get that. When you start the process, you'll need to feed, very light feed. So you put in this stuff, then you'll put your fish in. So follow the procedure for new fish and putting them into the aquarium. As soon as those fish are in, give them a very light feed of fish food, just a very light feed, okay? And that's it. You don't feed that tank for several days after that. So that, okay, I've mentioned this before, you will need one of these because you really want to check the parameters over time. So you don't need it on this day. We'll call this day 0, okay, because it's the day we put the fish in, but you will need this on day 1, day 2, day 3. So you will need to make sure you have a good test kit. We've already used AquaSafe. That's what we treated the tap water before we put that in. The only reason I've got the AquaSafe bottle is because it's actually got a handy little lid that measures 10ml and 5ml. I need 35, so 3.5 of those little caps. So that's what we need to do. It's very straightforward. The reason I'm advising this route is because I can't think of a simpler way to get fish into a new aquarium. This is, if you do a lot of research and if you look around, you'll find that Colony has a lot of good sort of reviews. I haven't really found much sort of negativity around the use of Colony. Yes, people do have problems, and you can sort those problems out. But I have a lot of confidence that if you're new to having an aquarium, if you're new to putting in fish and those sorts of things, this is probably the best way, is the way I believe that you will have a success in doing that. Otherwise it's going to be a very, very difficult sort of process, and you'll probably lose fish in that process. So let's add those fish. So let's put the colony in. There's the colony. I'm going to use this measuring cap from Tetra that measures 10ml, and I need 35ml for this size tank. So the important thing, colony, and a lot of other things, is to give it a really, really good shape. In a way, you can't shake it enough. Give it a really good shake. So this, even this is a small bottle, the smallest they do, it will provide enough for much larger, almost 100 litres tank. So here we go. I'm going to put the first one in. So that's my first. That's 10. It's 20. 30, just half a cap, 35. So there you go. That's all there is to it. So they've just got to let that will cloud the water a little bit. Not a great deal. So that bacteria will stay in suspension as well, which is the real reason you shouldn't be doing any water changes now that you've put that bacteria in. So because a lot of it's in suspension. If you take water out, you'll take the bacteria out, so you just need to make sure you don't do a water change. So the next thing is to put in the fish. Small rasboras, to let them in there for a while. So these harlequins have had 5 minutes now, more than 5 minutes. They look happy. You can see I get our fish from Maidenhead Aquatics. Very good. We've never had a problem. All their fish are good. So I'm just going to introduce some of the aquarium water into their water, a bit at a time. Do that every 5 minutes for about about 30 minutes to anything up to an hour, just to slowly add the aquarium water in with them before I let them go. So give them another 5 minutes and then do it all again. So these are the harlequins. They all seem to be doing okay. We'll soon go into their new home. We've just had another top up. I'm just going to keep topping up. Right then, these harlequins are ready to go in, I think. They've had long enough now to acclimatise. So this is always the nice bit. Let them all go. There. Just double make sure there's none left in the bag. There. Well, they've disappeared out of the way already. That's good. And then the last one to join them is this little fella. So he needs to go back through the same process. Put him in there for 5 minutes, undo the bag, and then top the water up. The little harlequins are all swimming around nicely in a little shoal. They all seem quite happy. He's been very lively, so, as you can see, but he's got to wait. Well, the harlequins seem to have settled in nicely, going around in a little shoal. And this fella's getting nearer to being able to go in and join them, I think. Just a couple more top-ups, I think, and then should be letting into the tank. Right, it's time to put this dwarf gourami in. Now, normally this type of fish often goes and hides, so we'll see what it does when it gets in. So it's going to join the harlequins. Let's go and see what he does. Will he go and hide? Straight down. Thinking about it. Yeah, found itself a little corner to back into, as I thought. So that's all the fish in. The very important part now is you've got to give it a light feed. Ignore what the bag says when you get the fish, which says don't feed them. It is important to feed, but a light feed. So I'm just going to give it a very light feed, like that. Even that's maybe too much. Just a very small light feed, like that. Put that in. Put the lid back on. Now, as normal, best to leave the light off for maybe a couple of hours, an hour or two, just to let the fish settle in. We've done everything we need to do, and that is that. There you go, that's that done. Not a lot more to say really, apart from thanks for watching the video, thanks for clicking on to the channel. Please subscribe, it's important. It's nice to know there's people out there, not just me banging out videos, but you will get notifications. So if you've got any questions or any comments, please put them in the comments below. Be nice to hear from people. I already have, but you know, let's keep that going. And that's it. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Right, take care.